Hi my friends, it's Cori. Today we're doing another stitch along. I'm going to continue working on the Home Sweet Home sampler that is a Joy Sunday type of a kit. It doesn't say Joy Sunday on it, but I've been working on this sampler. I finished all of the first color. That was this green color right here. I thought I wasn't going to have enough thread because I kept having to take it out. I did this area like 3 times. I wasn't ever quite happy with it, and so I'd pull it out. Part of the problem is the threads. I didn't like how the threads were laying. The other problem is golly, I had a hard time keeping the legs crossed correctly. So on those X's, so I couldn't decide what color to do next. So I just that happened to have been number 1, so I went to number 2, and that's what I'm working on now. This was, I can't remember if I mentioned it, but this is from New Craft Day, and they have a lot of stuff over there. If you guys care to go check them out. Last time I looked, you could get, I think you bought 3 and you got 1 free. Something like that. You need to look. Don't quote me on that. But, so, we'll start stitching on this purple color right there. And, let's see, we'll go right here. No, we'll go right here. Have a hard time deciding, making decisions. So yesterday kind of got away from me as far as I went into Corpus Christi, and I went to Walmart, and I went to see my doctor. I really panicked when I was at Walmart because pretty much all I got was some stuff for the cats. You know, I got the cat litter, and I got cat food and all that. I did buy another one of those file folder bins that I got the other day. So now I have 2. And, my plan is to I'd like to buy one of those every month. Just get another one. I have plenty of things to store that way. So this color is a little bit lighter than the previous color that I was using. It's more of a creamy tan color. I was worried I wasn't going to have enough of the other color because of the fact that I had to frog it a bunch. And that thread wasn't usable by the time I got it taken out. So I knew the color is 434. I happened to know, I recognized that color, and I knew I had some more in my stash, so I had that for backup, but I didn't need it. So that's what happened there. This color is 436 that I'm using right now. And it looks like there's quite a bit of it on here. There's only 2 full strands of this color, but there seems to be quite a bit on here. The doctor, when he looked at everything yesterday, he said, you know what, when I start seeing symptoms like this without not much of an explanation, he said that's when I start taking away medications. He said it very well could be the medications is what's causing your problem. And so he emphasized the fact that I am low on my folate, and to be sure to continue taking that. He said that alone could be causing the problems I'm having. So next time I go in, he'll check those folate levels. I'm sure that's insurance reasons is why he's not doing it already. So he took away a couple of my meds, and I don't think I'll miss them too horribly, except one of them helps me sleep. So we'll see how that goes. I did it last night, and I did wake up a lot, but I was always able to go back to sleep. I also made sure I was good and tired when I went to bed. I didn't go to bed till I felt pretty tired. No use in making that any worse than it had to be. That medication is a medication. I think I've been on it for over 20 years. And maybe it was time to see if I could go without it. Try to pull the tail I left sticking up there. Try to pull that out. Okay, I think I got it. There we go. So after I freaked out at Walmart, back to that part of my issue yesterday, I panicked because of everything it costs so much already. I really need to hold off before I buy anything else until I pay my bills. And one of my bills, I won't know how much it is until the 1st. And so I have to wait. I did decide on instead of going to Hobby Lobby and getting that Aida cloth, I went and looked at 123 Stitch, and I could get a smaller piece of fabric that I hope is big enough. I think the rule of thumb is to have a 3-inch margin, but I've only left a 2-inch margin just because that's what they had, without having to pay extraordinary. It jumps up a lot when you buy wider fabric for the Aida cloth. And so I think I can make do with what I got, because these don't have 3-inch borders. You know, there's no way that's 3 inches. It might be 2.5, but I don't think it's 3. So, and I could also get it in a, what's that called? Magic. It's the one that's already gridded. Easy Stitch, or I don't remember what it's called already. Golly. So it'll be gridded for me already. I thought that would be I think it was going to cost me, instead of $14.99, it cost $18.99 to get the magic grid. It was a smaller piece of fabric, but I thought it would be worth it. And 123 Stitch in the United States, the shipping's only $3.49. I don't know if it's always like that, but I didn't think that was bad at all. That's less than me taking a trip into town. So I went ahead and ordered that. I have no idea how long 123 Stitch takes to get here. I paid the bills that I could pay. I paid. I'm just worried about the electric bill. I have been using my heater, not a lot, but I've been using it. So I also have to pay taxes, my property taxes. And I can tell already I'm not going to be able to pay all of it this month, but I can pay a part of it. The interest rate just goes up. Every month I don't pay, the interest rate goes up on it. So as long as I get it paid within the next 2 or 3 months, I think I'll be all right. And I'll just break it up into 3 payments. So yeah, I'm afraid to spend money anymore because every time you need a little something, it ends up costing a lot. And it's just kind of an unsettling feeling. You know, we've gone along and we know what we can and can't do, and we've got it all worked out, and then it's just like all of a sudden nothing works out. With all the inflation, you don't know what's going to be twice as much. The cat food I was buying, what I normally bought was $10 more this month than it was last month. And so I tried something. I've tried a new one. I went ahead with the Walmart brand. I think it's Walmart brand. It's called Special Kitty. I got one. I usually buy 2 boxes of the other. So what I did was I bought one of the expensive brand and one of the Walmart brand to see if my cats will even eat it. And so maybe if they eat the Walmart brand okay, I can maybe I can switch them and that'll help. But I did give them a little bit and they did eat it. So I fed it with their normal, and then I just gave them a little bit of the new with it. And so I think if I can do that gradual transition, I'll be all right. We'll see what it does otherwise. When I had to switch them before, it made them get diarrhea. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. So the cats got taken care of yesterday. I bought the folic acid. The doctor sells a line of supplements in his office that they're supposed to be better because they're closer to the real thing. Like the folate, one of the good sources of folate is liver. And when I take that folate pill, it tastes like liver. If I allow it to be in my mouth long enough to taste it, I can taste the liver. So it's like straight from the source, not really messed up. Anyway, I think it's supposed to be better product. That's one thing I like about my doctor, is if he can treat you naturally, he will. And I think he honestly, what he does is he tries to follow. Like if I were to go and tell him, you know what, you treat me with medicine the way, you know, however you want, but I want pills to fix everything. That's what he'll do. You go tell him, look, don't think medicine is necessarily the solution to everything. So if there's another solution, I'd like to try it. And so he'll work with you that way also. There's not many doctors that will do that unless you go to someone like a naturopath or something. And then I believe in the natural way to do it, but I think there's a time when medicine does need to step in, and I trust this doctor to know when that moment is. So, the reason why I was still on that one medication is because I told him I didn't want to try to not have it. But I'm at the point now where I'll try anything. If that's what's causing it, then I don't need it. I'll be all right without it. I'd rather not be able to sleep than to have those migraines. So, my son is in the middle of a storm over there in Wisconsin. I haven't heard from him. I know they shut him down yesterday. Told him to just, stay put until Saturday. So I haven't heard from him yet. I don't know when the storm was actually supposed to hit. But we have an agreement. I won't tell him about everything going wrong with the car if he doesn't tell me, doesn't call me in the middle of a snowstorm. He's done that before, where he's been caught in the middle of a storm, can't see the road, so he calls me to talk him through it, and I'm like, I can't handle the stress. He says, well, if a guy can't call his mom, well, who can he call? So, but anyway, he's just, I'm not that worried because he did stop. I tell you what I do worry about is he thinks he's tough and he doesn't need a jacket. And I'm scared to death one of these days he's going to jump down out of his truck and try to do something without a jacket in -0 temperatures, and something's going to happen and he's going to be really, really sorry he doesn't have a jacket. Mom, I'm not out there that long. I'm going, well, you're not planning on being out there that long. But he got the anti-gel for his truck, so his truck won't freeze up. There's another guy that he was with yesterday that it was on the project with him, and they, I guess they both are in the same area, so they have the camaraderie that they need. And he is at a truck stop. So but I knew when he went to Wisconsin that this kind of thing would be happening, but he wanted to do that project. So I guess that's the price you pay to work on some of those deals. I was looking at a stitcher last night on the TV. Her name, I don't even know her name. I don't know, sure I ever knew it, because it was the TV actually, the automatic autoplay founder. And she had a bunch of, she was going through all of her whips. And she had a bunch of heaven and earth designs. And I'm like, it's that bug of me wanting to do that. is still there. I found out there are some smaller ones that I think I could try. What happens with me with the Heaven and Earth designs is I go and there are so many to look through. There are just so many. And I want to find a perfect one, because you gotta love it if you're gonna invest in something like that. Your time and effort, you want to be sure you're gonna love it. Not just now, but 2 or 3 years from now, you gotta still be loving it. Because I think those are year-long projects, not month-long projects. So I still have that bug. I hope I don't ever get so many projects going that I still want to be able to have a handle on them. The ones that she was showing, there was no way that if she did something on all of them through the year, basically all she could do is touch them. She couldn't really accomplish anything on them. And they're all those super tiny Heaven and Earth designs. It's like, so I want to do it, but I don't want to have, if I'm going to have a project like that, I don't want a lot of them. Because, you know, you want to someday finish. So, I saw a cute one. I can't remember who the author was, or the artist on it was. But it looked like it wouldn't be too big a project. Do y'all like watching me struggle here? I just changed my mind where I wanted to end up with that. I think I'll come over here. That's what I'll do. I have no idea what you guys are seeing. I like to come up in the center of the square and do a little tiny pin stitch when I'm starting my project or starting my thread. Then I leave that little tail and I'll clip it when I get closer to it. That's a little tail from another thread that from the other color I was doing, and I probably ought to just snip that out of the way. Get that little cat hair. So I'll snip that out of the way. I think one of the things I'd like to do is I'm going to go to Dollar Tree and buy a bunch of little manicure kits that have those little tiny scissors in it. And I'm going to try to keep a pair of those cheap scissors in every project, so that whenever I leave, I can just grab them and go. And I'll keep these nice scissors down by the with my project. Hold on just a second, please. Okay. I don't know where I was when I had to leave real quick. But anyway, so I'm going to leave that hanging you guys out to dry on that one. I did a little pin stitch to start my cross stitch to go up there. So, Heaven and Earth Designs, that's what I was talking about. Anyway, I am looking, I'm probably not going to get started on one, but I'm looking for a pattern that I want to get started on. And I definitely won't be able to start this month, but maybe I can at least get the pattern and start rounding up stuff for it. There are a couple of free patterns over there. I think there's like 4 or 5 free patterns, and I have a couple of them, and I don't know, maybe I'll do one of them. One of them's a Hannah Lynn, and the other is a parrot. That it's beautiful. I'm just not sure that's what I want to do. But anyway, this one's going slower. The 14 count is going slower than my 11 counts go, just because I have to be more careful. It just doesn't go as quick. And it does cover, every little X covers a smaller area. And it's just going slower. When I jokingly, at the end of my last video, said I was going to try and finish this by February, I really wasn't thinking clearly, because I thought February was like a full week away, not a half a week away. But I am still going to try to work this as quickly as I can. And I probably won't, you probably won't see this one again until I'm closer to finished with it. Just because it is harder for me to work while I'm doing my stitch with me. So anyway, I want to thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the little chit chat, and I will see you again in the next one. Take care.